Welcome to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. I just realized I kind of almost blend in with my background, which is kind of funny. Quick programming note before I forget: it is probably not your Friday, but it is mine. Actually, it's not really, because I am still working tomorrow, but I will be traveling to the DC area to go be on Tim Pool's Timcast show. So make sure, instead of watching this program, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered, just tune in to Timcast IRL tomorrow evening. I will be there with a fellow Blaze TV host, Alex Stein, which, you know, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow evening on Timcast. Should be a good time. So I would encourage all of you guys to come watch. So joining me today to talk about all of the latest leftist nonsense, we have Matthew Marsden, Blaze TV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire, along with Jaco Booyens. He is Blaze TV contributor and founder of Jaco Booyens Ministries, and also apparently everyone else in the building got the denim memo except me. Mm-hmm. So we're calling them the Denim Bros.
Well,
and you both wear it very well.
Well, in the denim memo for the Denim Bros, it said, "Don't tell Sarah."
It did. It's true.
It worked.
But it's my show, and I feel like I should have known. It's okay. You guys both look great. So you look at, I just want to talk about, I know we keep talking about all of this Tesla, like domestic terrorism, really. And it just keeps getting worse. And so it's really worth revisiting, because you see the radical left just totally on a rampage. They're bashing random Teslas, right? Which is just bizarre to me. They're keying cars. They're doing thousands of dollars in damage, flipping off Teslas. Sometimes when there's no driver in the vehicle, which is like, guys, these are inanimate objects, okay? They're just cars. And then, of course, some of them are posting their childish temper tantrums, similar to my 4-year-old, on Instagram, which is a whole nother level of instability. Like, please seek help soon. But you have, when you're watching all of this just craziness, again, the Teslas, like, show me on the doll where the Teslas hurt you. Okay, the Tesla car didn't do anything to you. And you have people going to the extent of, did you guys see this video? This man he's wiping his bottom and smearing his booty juice on the Cybertruck. Okay, look at him. He is digging in there. He is digging, smearing it, and then go find the clip online, because at the end there's that, like, you can see he takes there's a picture of the smears. It's just fingers, booty juice with fingers. Okay. I just, like, what?
I don't know.
Could you ever in your life?
I don't know that anybody else can talk about something that disgusting and still look this pretty doing it. Look, this is the lowest of low that comes out of the cracks of the earth. When the left does anything, they have this ability to take the yuck of society and give it a voice. To come dig in your butthole.
I was going to say, it comes from the cracker somewhere.
No, but your butt. I mean, this is like, these are the people that you need insane asylums for.
No,
the
truly.
Sickest of the sick that really need help. They're like really not well. That is a very unwell human being.
Can you, I mean, I know what the answer is, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Let's just an exercise, okay? Can you think of any scenario in which you would be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dig my fingers in my dirty butt and I'm going to wipe it on something because that's how mad I am. And that's going to prove my point for me. Like, is there ever a scenario in which you're like, that's my answer?
Answer one, I honor God with my actions. Answer two, I've got self-respect and dignity. I mean, and tact and just, I mean, common sense.
I have a lot of questions about how, like, why is there that much material there for you to work with
By
when
the
you dig
way,
in?
that's the voter. That's who voted for Kamala.
Yeah, that is.
But
Rap smearing.
It's also the same person who loved Elon Musk 5 seconds ago.
Yes.
well, this is
He was their king.
Yep.
this is the stupidity of it, right? And what I love about what is actually happening, I mean, it is kind of chaotic, right? Because the truth is, and we've said it over and over, is the left doesn't base their views or their opinions on anything tangible, anything that's logical. They don't base it on natural law, none of that stuff. So when you're looking at these guys, so let's just rewind it back a little bit, shall we? So Elon Musk comes in and he says, I want to save the environment. And everyone on the right goes, it's a crock of shit. Like, we know that climate change is not real, or climate change, which was global warming, which was acid rain, right? Because they had to keep moving it because it doesn't work, right? Because it's not real, right? It's a fantasy. So Elon comes in and he produces the best electric car that you can buy, which is then bought by a bunch of leftists. And when he says, hang on a second, you guys are getting ripped off by your government, so I'm going to save you money, they go out and they vandalize the cars that were bought by the leftists, which is their own people. And now they want to...
You can't make sense of it. Yeah, no, you can't. It's like, it's the meme of, what is it? John C. Reilly, is that his name?
Yeah.
And he's got the crazy hair, and it's just all of the math equations. It's like you if you try to make sense of it, you're just going to hurt your brain.
That's called lunacy.
It is. And so, like, them acting unhinged, it's, we talked about this the other day. It's really not new, but what is really striking to me is, you know, you've always had like the Maxine Waters go confront Trump people in the streets, but it's a new thing, relatively new, with Donald Trump himself. With him, it is now a phenomenon where you have these lawmakers who are just like saying all of the quiet parts out loud. And in particular, you had Jasmine Crockett, who is a disgrace, congresswoman from Dallas, a disgrace to the state of Texas. She was on a YouTube live broadcast, and she was telling all of these people, all I want for my birthday is just for everyone to take down Elon Musk. That's all I want. Watch.
So I'll make sure that I keep it short, but I am truly here for very selfish reasons. Starting with, on March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I have learned, as I serve on the Doge Oversight Committee, that there is only one language that the people that are in charge understand right now. And that language is money.
So what does that mean? I'm glad that you said that, Matt, because you hear how she phrased it, right? And you wonder, what else could you possibly mean, right? I understand you're using this coy language to deflect how you basically are encouraging people to create all of this damage and destruction that we've seen with, Tesla. And you just are like, oh, wait a second. So you're encouraging people to take down Elon Musk on the same day. What else is happening on March 29th, Jasmine? What else is happening on your B-Day? Oh, hundreds of anti-Elon Musk protests around the country are being funded by a radical activist group called Indivisible. So that's also what's happening. So, gosh, I wonder if the two are related, that all of the graffiti and the vandalizing and the assault of a car, I don't even know what you call that, but that is material that should not be smeared on someone's car. That is a biohazard. And so you have all of these things happening at the same time that a sitting congresswoman is telling people, hey, on this same day that you guys are planning Tesla takedown, hashtag, on the same day that you guys are planning this, I want you to take down Elon Musk. That is not a coincidence. There, of course, are all of the places that they are planning, or have already, done all of this damage and destruction to all of these Teslas, which, again, makes no freaking sense, because these were cars that you guys bought that you claim are saving the environment. And to my calculation, I'm not actually wearing a watch, I'm just joking. To my calculation, We've only got a couple years left because it was, 4-5 years ago that they said we only had 7 years. Beto told me we only had like 7 years left. So we are nearing the end of things, guys. And all you want to do is vandalize the electric cars. Something tells me you're not serious about your movement.
Well, the other thing that they're so stupid because it's the last car you want to vandalize because it's absolutely surrounded by cameras. So I don't know if you've ever been in one of those Teslas. They got cameras everywhere. So they are getting all of that. And by the way, I know we have to tell them because they're stupid people, but Elon Musk has already got the money for the car that they bought. And then when you're damaging it, guess where you have to get the parts from? You have to get them from Tesla. And so you're giving him more money.
No. Hey, that car, they still got a loan on that car.
Yeah.
Vandalize the car. And predominantly, it's people on the left that own them. So I've said it before on this show ad nauseum. They will eat their own. They don't care.
And they don't even understand. They're so stupid. They don't even understand that they're doing it. That's what I want.
That girl, because I can't call her a woman. That girl, because she has the maturity of a 12-year-old.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I know 12-year-olds with more maturity. That girl that just spoke, that somehow got elected, okay? Somehow.
Doesn't say anything good about that.
Does not have the capacity, the mental acuity, the capacity, the brain matter to even understand what she's saying herself by take down Elon Musk. Because I could say that's a threat of violence.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a threat on his life.
Yes.
Yep.
So FBI, go investigate. A sitting elected official just incited violence, instructed American citizens to harm other American citizens, take down Elon, take down the cars, dump your stock to bring financial harm. She's inciting violence.
By the way, Jaco, let me take it one more step than that. Where's Tesla located?
Austin?
It's here.
Yeah.
It's here. She's talking about Texans losing work.
Yes,
I mean, this is
saying.
how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
Her own state she wants to damage.
She wants to damage her own state, the people here.
Probably her own constituents.
Yeah, no.
Some of them.
Of course. But look, Steve Deace said this the other day, and it was, I thought it was absolutely brilliant what he said. He said, we are living with two completely separate ideologies that are absolutely incompatible in the United States. And I hope now that people are seeing this because there's one group and all they do want destruction. I saw Tim Walz said the same thing. Look, Tesla stock is down. Why do you want an American company that is a massive success? The guy came here with $2,500 in his pocket and as an immigrant, South African immigrant, he's the American dream. And you want him to fail? What is wrong with it? Because the truth is they want America to fail. They don't want America to be a success. They really don't want immigrants to be a success, Jaco. They want a never-ending stream of serfs.
They hate this country.
They do.
They hate joy. They hate life. Truly, honestly, they hate themselves. They are willing to kill their own young in the womb. They are willing to burn it to the ground physically. They are disasters walking around. They have no joy. They've got no purpose, nothing. Actually, their satisfaction lines up with the work of Satan. They love to see, steal, kill, destroy. They love to see, their joy is to see other people suffer, to trample upon them, to have groupthink and look, that one that used to be with us, that was in all our movies called Orange Man, that we loved, now we get a step on him. Look, the one that we used to be with us called Elon Musk, now we get to stake him, right? They love to see people suffer. That's how sick they are on the inside.
To your point, I want to play this clip here of The Daily Show, and I want you to pay attention to the audience. Again, this is exactly what Jaco's talking about. They're like applauding the terrorism, domestic terror, I'm calling it that, domestic terrorism of an American company. Watch.
They're taking to the streets or the parking lots Tonight, the FBI and ATF now investigating multiple cases of possible arson targeting Teslas and Cybertrucks.
This dramatic video shows multiple cars in flames.
It's on fire. It's set on fire.
Molotov cocktails.
This is terrorism. This is domestic terrorism.
That is terrorism
And vandalism targeting Tesla.
Across the
Same
country.
suspect shot more
Incited
Teslas
by
with a gun.
politicians.
Look at that.
Tesla
That's-
Cybertrucks were set on fire in Kansas City. And
Do you think that this is good for the environment? Look at this billowing smoke.
Cybertrucks on fire in Seattle.
It's quite dark.
You guys like petty acts of domestic terrorism, huh?
He says it. He says, you guys like
petty acts of domestic terrorism. Woo!
He was not happy with that, actually. I don't think he expected
I don't think he expected it either.
To cheer that.
No.
At all. I don't think he did.
Well, he is an idiot for putting that on his show and giving it. What do we do with mass shooters? Don't mention their name.
Right.
Rob them of any attention. No, these late night, I will tell you, late night television in this country has been a cancer to this society. It has been. They're sick. It's not funny. We are in such a revamp in this country. Yeah. This is a reformation. And at some point, oil and water don't mix, man. I'm just telling you.
Well, we've seen, especially the three of us around this table, you see what happens when you go against the Borg. And we've said it on the show, we said it on the News and White Matters, and, over and over again, with the way that if you step out against the Borg, it doesn't matter what protected status you feel like you are in. We saw it with young black men that had the audacity to question, hang on a second, my life was better under Trump. What happened to him? Oh, you guys are this, you guys are that, And then all of a sudden those
we're told they're not black.
They're not black. They're like, you're betraying your race, you're this. And then those guns turn around. And now the same thing's happening here, right? Oh, you bought a Tesla because you wanted to help the environment? Well, actually, it doesn't matter that Elon changed his mind and again, he's saving us money. He just saved 4 people from being stuck in space, right? And somehow he's an evil man, right? I mean,
it really doesn't even matter. They're not burning his vehicles. He's been paid.
Right.
They're burning their friends' vehicles.
Yeah.
They're burning other citizens' vehicles. They're doxing. I mean, this is insane.
And that's what I think I shared this story on air, but I was at a spa a while back, and in the women's area, I was like in a spa with 2 other women who I'm just trying to like chill and
We block our ears right now.
No, it's not dirty, but it's these two leftist women who are having this very loud conversation, and I'm like, girl, I'm just trying to chill. I don't need you to like talk about and she's like, oh, well, our friend has to sell her car. She has to sell her Tesla. And the other friend was like, why? And she's like, because Musk is a Nazi. Like, she was so mad. And I mean, she really felt that. Like, and I was just like, how is selling the car gonna help your friend? Like, she already bought it.
Well, they're not logical, but here's something really important, Sarah. And I know we've said this over.
You're not hurting Elon by selling the car. You're just passing the car
at all.
But listen. I think that there is something way more serious here that we've said before. It hasn't actually fully come to fruition. If you call someone a Nazi, then any amount of violence is justifiable against them because they were genocidal maniacs, right? And we've kind of like gone, okay, Nazi just means that
No, it's serious.
No, it's very, very, very serious. And what you're seeing now is right now it's violence against material things. It will be violence towards people. It's going to happen because they're getting more and more and more desperate.
Well, I will say this is the wrong administration to do that with, because Pam Bondi, now, I have a lot of opinions on Pam Bondi, but I will say she actually did something that was not appearing on Fox News, and she announced that she is bringing charges against 3 Tesla arsonists. So she said in this press release that they could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. Quote, "The days of committing crimes without consequence have ended. Let this be a warning. If you join this wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, the Department of Justice will put you behind bars." Now,
swiftly, please.
Yeah, please.
Publicly, please.
And so I just want to, I know we got to go to break here, but let me just give you a description of these. This is the left. There it is. Wow. They look like exemplary citizens of society. So one of them was armed with a suppressed AR-15, and he was arrested after throwing about 8 Molotov cocktails at a Tesla dealership in Salem, Oregon. Another was in Loveland, Colorado, and that lovely one decided to attempt to light Teslas on fire with Molotov cocktails. And then you have Charleston, South Carolina, where a third defendant wrote profane messages against President Trump around all of these Tesla charging stations before lighting the charging stations on fire with Molotov cocktails. Again, these are your friends, and you're preventing them from going on road trips when you destroy their charging stations. So I don't know. You haven't thought that one through. But I guess that would take a brain for you to think something through in the first place. So now I understand. And so the DOJ announcement said that minimum penalty is 5 years and up to 20 years in prison. So hope it was worth it, because the Trump administration is not playing around. All right, we've got to go take a quick break. We'll be back with more. But want to thank our sponsor this segment, Jase Medical. So Jase Medical is there for those of you who understand that, or maybe you don't understand yet, but you need to understand that you need to be prepared in case of an emergency. You need emergency food, of course. You need emergency water, of course. But what is something else that you could need? Like, let's say you're in an emergency. Let's say that there's some sort of a natural disaster. Let's say that there's some sort of a crazy virus that's unleashed into the entire world from the Wuhan lab of virology. And also it turns out that all of our medication is manufactured in China. So then you're going to have a hard time getting a life-saving medication. That would never happen. Never mind. That's a crazy scenario. But the point is, you never know when you're going to need emergency life-saving medication, which is why you need the Jase case, because they have 5 essential antibiotics for emergency use. But here's the thing. You think you probably won't ever need them. But if you're in that event, you do, and you have some sort of a life-saving antibacterial medication, it could save your life. So go check them out. They've also got additional add-ons. You can get ivermectin as a custom add-on. You can get an EpiPen if you have someone in your family with a deadly allergy. Make sure that your family is prepared. You think you're not going to need it, but the point is you will have it in the event that you do. You can go to jase.com, use promo code Sarah for a discount on your order at checkout. That is promo code SARA at jase.com. Well, as of the time of this taping, we await the final closing the chapter on the Department of Education, which is happening. I want to take a moment to just talk to you guys about how significant this move is. This is another promise made, promise kept. But I mean, you look at what a turning point this is in American history, that with this Trump administration, for decades, you've had a federal government that has grown. I mean, you think about what our founding fathers intended our government to be, and you look at what it has grown into. I mean, we fought a war for far less than what they're doing to us now. And you look at the bloat, and you look at how big they've become, how powerful they've become, how much power they've taken away from you, and how much say they have in like every aspect of your life. And so you look at how much they're getting and how much they're failing us. The students are no different. The Department of Education is no different. You've got this department that was, it had a 1980, I believe, was when it was its inception. And since then, they burned $3 trillion of taxpayer money. You've had this government education that has led to poorly educated students in a system that is designed for, I don't know, like social conformity, not individual excellence. You see it in the test results. You see all of these, I mean, in multiple different places across this country. We spend more money per pupil than all of these other developed countries, but yet we are falling behind. Something has to change. And so I want to play White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who explained this announcement that most of that department is just going away. Watch.
The Department of Education was founded in the 1970s, and since then we have spent more than $3 trillion at this federal bureaucracy. What has been the return on that investment for the American taxpayer? Levels that are less than ideal, less than proficient. Our children's test scores are incredibly concerning when it comes to reading rates, literacy rates, math, and science test scores. The numbers prove that, and this president is finally taking much needed action to return education to where it belongs, and that's to educators closest to students in their classrooms in their respective states.
So again, I mean, you look at how the federal government has operated for decades now, and you see them. I remember saying it so often during COVID, you guys, I'm sure will remember as well. When do you know the government to give you back power that they have taken from you? When have you known the federal government to say, okay, all right, we're sending this back to the states. It's going to be up to you now. We're going to relinquish the power that we have stolen from the states and return it where it belongs. You never see the federal government operate that way. Once they take power, once they seize power, they wield it for forever. And while they're wielding it, they try to decide how they can get more. And here you have the Trump administration 2.0 coming in and saying, you know what, this isn't working. And as much as the teachers unions and Randy Weingarten want to cry about how if we just had more money, you already have all of our money and you're not doing anything with it. And our kids are coming out dumber and more confused than ever because all you're doing is teaching them about the 95 genders that you've made up. But you're not teaching them reading, writing, and arithmetic. Something has to change. And you know what? I understand that there will be people in, because we've had this conversation before, in California, in New York. When that gets returned to the states, it doesn't get better for them. But guess what? You have the ability to make that choice if you want to pick up by your bootstraps, pick yourself up, move to a place that's more conservative that you want to raise your kids in. That is your choice. But what we are doing right now isn't working. And I applaud the Trump administration for following through on another promise that they made.
Yeah, look, I said from the beginning, and my words weren't that popular. I said from the beginning, my favorite secretary pick was Linda McMahon. And people like, Jaco, why Linda? People don't know her history. Sitting in Connecticut on state school boards, having a semi-tractor trailer for welding, wanting to go through welding school herself, the heart for the child. It's about time that the American child wins again. Mm-hmm. It's been a very long time. She's a businesswoman. She's going to execute with meticulous fashion. I believe the strongest victories we're going to see from this administration is going to come from Linda McMahon and RFK Jr., the two individuals that touches the family, the home. That's where the biggest wins are going to come. Yes, I want lower property taxes and all those things, but I want our children to be safe, and she's going to execute. Now, remember, an EO is not a law.
Sure.
So now, Congress, and Linda said it in her confirmation hearing, it has to be an act of Congress to do this. So Congress is now going to have to stand with this secretary, McMahon, who's working herself out of a job. That was her mandate. Yeah. And the president, and say, it is time. And to your point, give it back to the states that when the states fail, the constituent would have a clear line of sight who's failing their family so they can primary them and remove them. It's no longer, the government. Mm-hmm. It's a person. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening here. And California will fail their students, but the buck will stop with an individual with a name badge, not the Department of Education. Right? And last point, remember, Linda McMahon clearly stated that no money is being removed from the student. It's not what's happening here. So don't believe this cockamamie nonsense where, students are going to suffer. No, they've been suffering. Now the funds are going to be placed in the hands of those who will be held accountable that the student actually gets the worth that the American taxpayer is paying for.
Right. And I think there's something to what you said, too, that I want to just kind of expand upon, and then I want to get your thoughts, Matt, that when you're talking about the RFK pick and the Linda McMahon pick, but you're talking about the Department of Education and all of the moves that RFK, I anticipate that he will make with health. The return on investment of brighter children, brighter futures, healthier children, healthier futures is immeasurable.
Yes.
Immeasurable. I mean, you're talking about such a return on investment in growing healthier communities, healthier children, more well-developed children who can go out and change the world someday. What we're doing right now in those in those two places, what we're doing is not working in a lot of places, but with regard to those particular places, there is such a return on investment there that is not even talked about or being explored.
What it means, though, is it's a massive blow to the Marxists, right? Because what they're trying to do, a dumber population is easier to control, which is, we're seeing the fruits of that right now, like 20 years of it, and there's the odd parent that said, you know what, I'm talking about like parents that aren't in the more conservative red states, because, to me, when a friend of mine is in Georgia and he can send his kid to state school, I'm like, that is just not an option in California. Like, it's just not. And it's actually not much of an option in Texas, actually. And that's why so many people are homeschooling, because you mentioned the family, Jaco. It's really important, because when you send your kids off, and we're very much, like, me and my wife are very much, because my wife did ballet, but she also taught ballet. And she was very much of the mindset that when that kid crosses over into the ballet studio, they're yours, like that you have to take care of them and treat them like they're your own. If you are right-minded, that's a good thing.
Sure.
If you're a wrong-minded person, that's a really, really bad thing.
Yeah.
So what we've been doing over these past years is still thinking the mentality back in the day that people have the same values as you, and they don't. And we've had a steady stream of people going into academia that are Marxists, that are that they don't have the vocation like it used to be. And oddly enough, you look at the same thing with doctors. They don't have the vocation they used to be, which was do no harm. I've got to try and help these kids. Now it's like, how do I get them hooked on Ritalin? How do I get them prescribed stuff so I can make more money, so I can have a second home in Cabo, right? So this is, it is such a massive paradigm shift. And what concerns me, and what we're seeing with the violence against Tesla, is the Marxists, and that's what it is. I think it's very difficult for Americans to understand truly and to accept how their system has been subverted so badly, right? So they're losing their grip on this country. Like, this is absolutely monumental. And you can see the way that the Europeans are behaving, because they're in the same situation, right? Because they're a bunch of Marxists as well. And so if America gets it right, it really does mean this ripple effect across the world of freedom, which America was always about, right? That's what that's the America that I grew up loving. So it's gonna be very, very bumpy, and we have to watch the behavior of politicians, especially conservative politicians, and the way that, to your point about the fact that they better all vote for it, every single one of them, or they are gone. Yeah. Right? Because it's two separate ideals, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're looking at. Do you want a family-centric healthcare system and education system, or do you want to give it up to the Marxist and state? Lose your kids.
I'm just gonna leave it here. Booty juice guy, public school graduate. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and California, probably. I don't know. I don't actually know. I can be assured that I'm correct. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back with more, but I want to thank our sponsor of this segment, Relief Factor. So Relief Factor, every single person at this table has a great testament about Relief Factor. It's worked for Jaco and Jaco's mom as well.
Right.
It's worked for me. It's worked for Matthew Marsden. Okay. It's worked for all of us. It's worked for so many of us actually here at the studio, honestly. And they've got the 3-week quick start. So if you are living with any type of pain, I suggest that you try it. So what it is, it's a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Well, how does it do that? It actually is a very potent anti-inflammatory, which those of you who don't know much about pain, you probably don't realize that inflammation is like the cause of most of the pain in your body. So if you're taking something, you're rubbing a cream on it or whatever, you're just masking the problem. You're not actually getting to the root cause. So get to the root cause of it with Relief Factor. Try their 3-week quick start pack. They've got a guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose except your pain. That is relieffactor.com. Go get that over at relieffactor.com. Well, it wasn't that long ago, guys, that we continued hearing repeatedly the same lie over and over and over. America cannot do anything to secure the border we need comprehensive immigration reform. We have to have immigration reform. We have to pass a new law because we don't already have laws and codes and rules and regulations on the books that would allow us to actually close the border that we claim that we have. Except if you take a look at the apprehensions that have happened on the U.S.-Mexico border. Just look at that. Just look at that. Because they're not coming anymore. They're not coming anymore because all you have to do in order to dissuade people not to make the dangerous journey is to tell them, no, thank you, we are closed, come the right way. All you have to do is have a border czar like Tom Homan, who is coming in and actually taking the job seriously. And I'm sure that there are hiccups that they need to work out as far as getting these people the hell out of our country. But if you just look at,
numbers don't
lie. Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
No one's coming anymore because they're not being invited in like the former border czar Kamala Harris.
Gone.
Right.
May I break protocol here and ask our amazing producers to put that graph back up just real quick?
Pull that graph up back, please.
Put it back up, please. And I want to say this. Look at the right side of this graph. Here's what's going to happen. If Pam Bondi tomorrow throw 15 guys in jail for 15 years, the Tesla fires will plummet like that. Consequence corrects action.
Yep.
And
there's arrests on the border and deportations with no perks. And oh, wow, that's called a free fall.
Yep.
And here's the thing about that, by the way. While we look at that, I think it goes up to 250,000 people, apprehended. What happened after they got apprehended in those 4 previous years? They didn't send them away.
Right.
They let them out. So that's an apprehension. So this is an important distinction. That's an apprehension, a catch and release. Yeah. So they're coming in anyway. So think about this. That's 250,000 that they caught, right? How many didn't they catch?
Millions.
And how many did they let in? These people are being caught and they are not being let into the system. Mm-hmm. They're like, you are gone. Mm-hmm. So it's even more stark than what you're seeing there. Yes. That's the point. And like you said, Sarah, like we're saying, look, we're not open. You can't come here. You're going to get deported. Right. And I'd imagine that the majority of those people there are the bad people that they're getting, because the good people the good people,
the good people are waiting in line.
Yeah. And by the way, can I say it again? Can I make this point again for those that didn't know about this? Is that my son's waiting went from under Biden 4 years to come in legally to 9 years to we don't know when to 8 months. 8 months.
Now under
it's shocking.
Legally.
To come here legally.
Right.
But what it shows you is when they were saying, oh, no, it's not affecting the legal. Of course it was.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
They were overwhelmed. Of course it was. And so now we've got some semblance of order. It's amazing.
Well, we're not done with feel-good stories, Matt.
All right.
Okay. That is a feel-good story. You want another one? We've got an abolish ICE activist named Jeanette Vizgera, who was she was named one of Time's top 100 people of the year because she I don't know, advocated for illegals to stay in our country. Well, she was actually finally tracked down and busted by ICE. And she had been evading deportation for literal years by hiding out in churches, even though she had multiple removal orders dating back to 2009. And she just continued to defy all of these agreements to leave that she had made. Look at, oh no, she looks sad. Oh no, moment of silence for, okay, that's enough. So it turns out, with all of this, you just need political will to enforce the law. You just need the political will to actually put people in place who will take the job seriously, not some drunk who's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to visit Venezuela to find out more about the root causes. The root causes, you're welcoming them in. That's all it was. Close the door. They're not going to come in. So it's just so striking to me. By the way, in more feel-good news on this topic, really quickly, the New York Supreme Court just shot down New York City's attempt to legalize illegal alien and non-citizen voters in a 6-1 vote. So, nope, sorry, you guys cannot allow non-citizens, illegals, whatever you'd like to call them. Nope, sorry. And by the way, I feel like these two gentlemen, as people who did things the right way, will fully support New York State's decision that no, this is a process. Yeah. Only citizens can vote.
1,000%. If you are not a citizen of this country, you did not swear an allegiance. You were not sworn in under oath by an immigration judge. You did not go through the process, which half the Americans will fail the immigration exam.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yep.
Couldn't even tell you the branches of government.
Yeah.
And by the way, you have to be able to speak and write English.
Yes.
To pass the exam.
Which is now the official language.
Which has been the law forever.
Right.
It's been the law.
Right.
Ask him, Yeah. So, hey, it's a good day. Yeah, we're supporting it. Of course we are. It's just fresh that it's coming from New York. That's the refreshing part.
I know. And a 6-1 vote.
Because that's catch and release city, okay?
Yeah. Well, not anymore.
They're feeling it,
Exactly
listen,
right.
When I was there recently for the Protocol 7 premiere, and you walk down the street, they are absolutely flooded with illegals, and it is bad. And you can see that even the New Yorkers are like, this is just not good. Look. Part of the issue is that America is so massive that they've been getting away with it for such a long time, but the stupidity of them putting them in Manhattan, which is one of the most concentrated places, which is a built-up area. You see it when you walk down the street. Yeah. Like, you don't see it so much in California because it's so massive.
Right?
Yeah.
I went to the Roosevelt and did the thing at the Roosevelt. Yeah, the whole deal got thrown out of the Roosevelt, and it's New Yorkers were complaining. I can't go to my deli; it's giving to the migrants. I can't go to my laundromat because New York is just basically 10 city blocks duplicated.
Yep.
Yeah. You live in a 10 city block radius. You got your laundromat, your donut shop, your pizza, and liberals were suffering, going, my whole life is changing because I can't function.
Right.
So
turns out that sanctuary city policy is not a great idea when people are willing to ship them to us. It was really great when they were all in Texas, but now we're feeling it, and this is not really actually a livable situation, is what they're finding out. All right, we've got to take a quick break. We'll be back with more, but we want to thank our sponsor of this segment, SelectQuote. So listen, I know there's a lot that if you're like me, you're kind of a control freak, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I need to worry about today? But there's a lot out of your control. One thing that you can regain control of is your family's financial future with life insurance through SelectQuote. If you don't have life insurance, please, I'm telling you guys, even if it's just a little bit, please get some to protect your family. I know it's something that nobody likes to talk about, but it is really essential if something were to happen to you that your family can be taken care of, or at least help take care of them. SelectQuote can do that for you. They're one of America's leading insurance brokers with nearly 40 years of experience, helping over 2 million customers find over $700 billion in coverage since 1985. They're going to offer you a tailored custom policy. It's not a one size fits all. Okay. Even if you have pre-existing health conditions, go talk to them. They partner with companies that will help you with that as well. You can go to selectquote.com/Sarah. That is selectquote.com/Sarah. All right, before we have to go here, Snow White, the latest from Disney. Ooh, it is not doing well with critics ahead of its box office opening tomorrow. It has one of the worst Rotten Tomato scores for a Disney live action remake. That's 46% critic score from 101 reviews. So which is rotten apples for Snow White.
Pretty rotten.
That's not what you want when you're Snow White. Okay, there was one of the top critics, Otis Henderson, who said, I had high hopes that Snow White would make me happy. Instead, this dopey remake made me sleepy and grumpy. And you just have to wonder, I think that they tried to shelve it, but they realized they couldn't at this point because there was already too much that went into making it. And, it's just going to be glorious to watch them crash and burn on this one as well. Some of the YouTube comments on the trailer are like, wow, Disney, you truly are incredible. It took you 3 years, multiple rewrites, unnecessary CGI, and $209 million just for me to enjoy a comment section of a movie I will never watch. Bless you. Here's one more.
$209 million in production.
Yeah.
It's not the P&A, baby.
That's a great point.
Another $200 million in marketing.
And we, me and Jaco will tell you, like, and we try and get like $10 million to make a decent movie here, and conservatives don't do it, and they're throwing $400 million plus. That's how much you're looking at. But I mean, look, I love Gal Gadot, right? I don't think she's the greatest actress, right? I think she's beautiful. But why do you pick somebody who is quite clearly more beautiful than Snow White to play the queen? You're like, I was going to say, who's the most beautiful of them all? You're like, oh, you are clearly, better than her.
But here's my point. Why do we need another Snow White? Why are we going to Superman 45? I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying, because they have dried up with any creativity.
It's true. That's like all they're doing now is coming out with live actions of other ones that, like The Lion King, and what did they do? Didn't they do Aladdin?
Making the movies, accountants and ideologues are making the
exactly
movies. And this is why, like
creatives.
Like I said to Glenn, like this is a time, and I keep saying this over and over and over on social media, that if conservatives actually back people that have made movies before, we could take over that industry and actually give people what they want to see. It's that easy.
I would agree with you on the evil queen being the beautiful one here, but you showed me a picture the other day of Snow White's back, and I'm just saying, it's pretty hairy. So
what was worse? Listen, what was worse was a dress for the premiere. I'm just saying, a dress from a premiere was scandalous.
What is happening right now?
What'd she wear?
Oh, it's like,
oh.
And I'm like, what was funny was I had somebody on social media go to me, well, that's what they wear for premieres. I'm like, thank you for telling me. I haven't been to like a ton of them of my own movies. Thank you for telling me that. But this is, it's all, if you are going to have someone, and this is when I did Black Hawk Down, it was really important that the people that play the roles in the movie, especially if it's something like this, reflect the values of the film. Like, it's really important, because there's little girls that are going to watch that.
Especially on the promo side of it.
Yes. Yeah.
100%.
Listen.
On their social media and how they reflect.
Yes,
keep spending that money. Keep bombing. Go woke, go broke if that's what it takes for you guys to learn. I can't wait. All right. Remember, I am out tomorrow. Check me out on Tim Pool, Timcast IRL, and we will be back with you Monday. We'll see you then.